What's your "oh you're not joking" moment? Had an old lady ask me when her dog would grow its leg back after an amputation. I was eating ice cream and an old guy walking into the ice cream parlor said, "Oh, that looks good. I'm gonna get a spoon." I smiled and laughed awkwardly, until his damn spoon was in my ice cream. Used to work at a big bank that bought out another, somewhat smaller but still pretty big bank about 10 years ago. Some guy came in all pissed off because we didn't send him a new debit card with the new bank's logo on it. They intentionally made it so the old ones would continue working until they were originally set to expire. Said it was embarrassing. I can't be the only person who's gotten upset over this, right? Yeah homie, you were. A friend sent a photo of herself in a hideous wedding dress with "guys I found my dress," and I completely thought she was joking. I would have responded with LOL or a barf emoji, but got caught up and didn't respond for a few hours. When I checked my phone, the other bridesmaids had written "OMG Gorg love it" etc. And I realized she wasn't joking. I was so relieved that I didn't respond first. Side note, but related, our bridesmaids' dresses were ugly AF and expensive. At least we all looked ridiculous that day. Getting ready for a road trip. Multiple vehicles, not everyone knows each other. We should exchange phone numbers in case we get separated. Me, oh, I have your number. Got it from Dan. I'll call you quick so you have mine. Call him and hang up as soon as it rings. Okay. Got it? Let me call you so you have mine too. Me, what? Calls me. Me, confused _look.jpg. Did you get it? At a co-worker's house playing poker after our NFL fantasy draft. One guy asked where the bathroom was, and off he went. Came back a few minutes later and the host asks if he seriously just took a shit in his house. We all laughed, and turned our attention back to the poker game. He wasn't joking. He was genuinely upset that someone used his bathroom to take a shit. He said it was extremely rude and something you should wait until you get home to do. When my former best friend and I was joking around and talking about sex, she had an idea of us having sex with our boyfriends in the same room, and I was like, yeah haha. And we could hold each other's hands haha. She thought it was a good idea and played along and was like, we could bounce at the same rhythm haha. Weeks go by. She told me her boyfriend said yes to it. And I was like, what? Said yes to what? Her, said yes to us having sex in the same room. Took a bit of convincing, but he's in. She got a little disappointed when I said no and thought we were joking around. I had a friend with a very dry sense of humor. One morning, several years ago, he texted something to our group text like XX555TTT4EXTRASF. Presumably a butt dial text, right, and then a little while later texted "Srey, I had a stroke." Which is exactly the kind of joke he would have made to apologize for the ridiculous text. So I said, no worries, just lay off the sauce while you're at work. Turns out he'd had a massive stroke and was in the hospital, and had been attempting to text with the right hand only, while wearing a pulse ox. He ended up with permanent left-sided hemiplegia, and it's a fucking sad story, and also I felt like a huge asshole that day, sad but relieved face. 30 to 45 days after separating, before divorce was final, but I was already out of the house, my boyfriend is moving in. His name is Froey. Fucking Froey. My name is Roy. Are you serious? And #X200B, edit, I just wanna say thank you to everyone who shit on that fool's name. Divorce sucks and this just made my day. It's also my first top comment on a Reddit post. LOL. I joined a work Skype meeting a few minutes late, and when I joined I asked to be filled in on what had been discussed in the meeting so far. One of my colleagues, who is usually a bit of a joker, replied, well, boss lady, was just telling everyone about the new expectation that we wear our work uniforms while working from home. I busted out laughing, big hearty guffaws. Wiping tears from my eyes. Alex, that's hilarious. Can you imagine? Nobody else laughed. We don't even have cameras in our work from home setups. Why the fuck would we ever wear a uniform working from home? I work at a call center. Me, geez, Matt, who died? Matt, my grandmother. Me, ha, carrot oh carrot shit. This guy came back professing his love for me in the most passive-aggressive way after ghosting me for 2 months, no calls answered, no texts, nothing. When he ghosted me, I was heartbroken. Took some time to myself to heal and stay single, you know the drill. He texted me out of blue asking if we could talk. We met up and he told me he did some soul searching and dated a few girls and went to therapy, and told me he realized I was the one and said how I'd regret not giving him a second chance because I had no clue how happy he'd make me. I thought this was some ploy to get me to sleep with him until he proposed immediately after. A very sarcastic, hilarious guy posted about going to see God on Facebook. I replied with something snarky along the lines of the old "Have you found Jesus?" I didn't know he was missing, joke. His wife posted it to let everyone know he died of a heart attack. Was in an informal meeting with someone that I was doing a project with. We were both self-employed and in the same industry, so our meetings were a lot more casual than a regular office context. He, a healthy active early 60-something, starts talking jokingly about his imminent demise and death with me and the client. Now he's got an odd sense of humor and often jokes about strange stuff, so I smiled and laughed politely. He and the client stop and look at me and say, "Oh, we haven't told you." Flushed face, my heart sinks as they share that he has been having strange aphasic episodes, that it's getting worse, and they think he has a couple years left. I'm just a deer in headlights at this point. The meeting quickly ends, and I leave feeling terrible. That was about 6 years ago. He was able to get a diagnosis of a rare form of epilepsy, got on medication, and to my knowledge hasn't had an episode, seizure, since. Still makes weird jokes though. When my boyfriend, now ex, wouldn't buy me tampons in the fear of being mistaken for a gay person.